Hello and welcome to another levisarts tutorial of space. This time we're doing rings. As you see here, I'm cutting a few pieces of paper about an inch, maybe inch and a quarter wide. Then I make sure I cut off the corners and then just cut 2 or 3 little notches. That way it'll leave a nice black line to divide between the rings. And right now we're going to set up a little scene, just a simple black backdrop so you can practice, and you can do this over and over and over again until you get the orbit right. Because rings are, a lot of people start them on an arch and then they go to a flat spot. The objective here is to actually make it arched all the way around to get a proper looking ring so it looks like it's actually going around the planets. Now I only do a ring on one side of the planet because most of the time I am putting rocks or something on the other side of the planet or the lower portion of the planet to make it look more like the rocks are in front of the planet and the planet's way off in the distance. Therefore I don't worry too much about doing the rings in both directions. This way is actually very simple, shouldn't take too long. Getting the orbit proper will probably take a little while to get the finesse. And there you have it, very simple. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you how I do it on a planet itself, because as you paint, especially on a planet, it takes a while to paint the entire design, and by the time you get around to actually doing the rings, some of it is wet, some of it is dry. And when the spots get dry, you need to make sure you get them wet again before you try and scrape off the excess paint. And there we go with the paper, and moving a little up and a little to the side, as in my other tutorial on planets. Gotta put that blue in there, you know, I love that blue. Blue makes some planets stand out. Also, if you have not seen my planet tutorial, if you're curious about how I do the stars, I also have that on the tutorial. Now here we go, I have the planet set, and it's a little dry already. I don't know if you can actually see where it's starting to dry up. And I take a little bit of clear, mostly on the planet, because that dries first, and then just a little bit out on either side to make sure that it wets. You don't want to put too much so that it gets like sloppy, just enough to make everything go red again. And if you look at the rings, you can actually tell that it's completely round all the way around. There's no flat spot. That actually makes it look like it's actually going around the planet. Very important. Now here I decided I wanted to put in a older video I did on how to do rocks in front of a planet to show you where I would normally put my rings. The other side you're not going to even see because I have rocks there, which make the planet stand way off out in the distance because the rocks are actually in front of it. And a lot of people have been asking me about how to do the rocks in my style, and I'm trying to put together a tutorial on that, though it is kind of hard to explain. It looks very simple, but it's not. It takes quite a while of playing around and getting finesse and just doing it over and over and over before you really get it down pat. As you can see, I've actually put more black down in the orange. That's because we want the rocks to be orange without showing any red. Therefore, you know, if you have a little bit of red on the top, it kind of messes it up a little bit. And my favorite blue. Yes, got to have lots of glue. Kind of makes it look not quite so dark. Not so much like nighttime, like right at night. That's what I try and get. And there goes our stars. And here I would normally do the rings, but I did not do the rings on this. As I said, this is an earlier video where I was just showing how to make a planet look very far out in the distance by putting the rocks right in front of it. And there you go. I assure you that looks a lot easier than it really is. This part right here you can definitely feel free to try because it is actually very easy. Whenever I slide down the scraper, just make sure you use a flat side and just barely touch it, and it will make a nice waterfall effect. And there you have it. Also, I did want to mention that on the gloss, a lot of people ask me, is it really that glossy all the time? Yes, it is. If you will notice on all my videos, I never go over the same thing twice, which adds overspray. That's how I keep it glossy. I thank you very much, and I hope this helps you out.